everyone, and welcome to Benny Shakes Things Up, a special edition where I interview one of my best friends, Mark Burkwood. Hey, I got it right for a change.
Hey!
Well,
I mean, it was Mac Burkwood before we went live, but
Oh.
I might change my name to Mac Burkwood. Actually, I think it certainly has more unique anyway. But
Do you like the poster?
I love the poster. I think it's great. I really do.
Do you like all my tablets?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love them. Hang on. Yeah. Brilliant. And hang on, it's like the poster is the sort of a drawing. Is it drawing?
Yeah. I drew that in lockdown, and because I collect a load of dinky toys, I wanted to do a special thing for. I'm part of a mental health group photo group in Nottingham called Scrambles, and one of our projects was to get something you're impassioned about and take a photo. So that's why I drawed and I got all my dinky toys. So before people think we're weird, should we get there?
Hey, I was going to say, if it's something you're passionate about, where was the photo of a sausage roll? Where was the drawing of that?
Well, it's been 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
I think it's a record.
And already you have mentioned sausage rolls.
I think that must be a record. I think that
Yeah,
must be a
we're
record.
going to have to ask Kate.
Yeah,
If you haven't guessed yet, Kate's not with me today. She's let me loose to interview Mark. So I brought you back on because over lockdown, me and you have got to know each other a bit more, and we've been working together.
Yeah, we've been involved a lot. Yeah, we've been involved in a lot of exciting stuff, actually, I would say.
Yeah. Well, first we set up the support group for disabled comedians, didn't we?
Yeah, no, I think that's a brilliant group, and we got a really lovely, like a wide variety of people on there, and it's such good fun tuning in every week on it. And so, if any disabled comedians out there, feel free to join our group.
Yes, we do a Zoom group every fortnight.
Sponsored by Greg's.
Sponsored by Greg's. There we go. Twice now, Kate.
Twice.
See what happens when you let me loose on my own game. It just goes Greg's.
And I'm autistic. I love repetition. So keep it going.
Yeah. Well, I've left the cerebral palsy symbol up still because in my eyes, it's cerebral palsy day every day because I'm cerebral palsy. But hey ho, and Mark's dressed in green. Was you meant to be green?
No, do you know what? I'm going to be really honest here. I've basically been really lazy with the washing, and that was the last shirt in my drawers. I could have run with it, but like I'm too fucking honest for my own good. But but it's just like, yeah, no, I could have just gone with it. Yeah, I deliberately wore green for you, Benny, just for cerebral palsy awareness. But no, I can't say that, unfortunately. I think there's a photo of me somewhere on Facebook. I have to show you. It's of me. I sprayed my hair green because I used to be into punk music, and I had a spiky hair and green. And last year we went to like this punk night in London, and are you searching on Facebook now?
No, keep going.
But yeah, we went to this punk night last couple of years ago in London, where I basically wore a black top like of Green Day or something, and yes, it wasn't as funky as that, but
I can't see. There we go.
it wasn't as green as that. But I sprayed my hair green, and that was a couple of years ago.
See, for some reason, I've got a drawer full of wigs.
What is this wig obsession? Like, yeah, if you ever go on Benny's Facebook, I just remember when he first did Law Fable, and I was trying to find a promo photo, and I was like, that's one with a wig, that's one with a wig, that's one with a wig. And do you know what? It made the posters so much funner.
Yes, my Facebook page is Benny Shakes Things Up on Facebook. So yeah. So Mark, you run a gig down south, don't you? Tell us about that.
So
and how we met.
So yeah, so it's a disability and mental health sort of night, comedy night, and I set it up last October. So actually, it's been exactly like a year since I set it up. So it's going from strength to strength. But obviously, since lockdown, we've had to go virtual. It's called Law Fable. Benny is performing.
Yes.
This Friday. I'm sure I'll share the link on various platforms. But yeah, definitely check it out. We've got a fantastic lineup. But it's basically to celebrate acts with disabilities and mental health. And it's not that they have to mention their disability or their mental health, just to give those acts sort of a platform. Really, because there's like LGBT nights and women only nights.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to play oppression Olympics, but we have our own, us disabled folks, so already, so we don't need another one. But I've opened up to acts with mental health conditions, so that's pretty much every comedian on the open mic circuit. But
I don't. Sorry to butt in, but
no, fine,
I don't get that because we are allowed our own night. Women are allowed their own night. LGBT, I've got it wrong, had their own night. Am I getting it right?
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter had their own night, but white male working class white males haven't got that night. I understand there's more of them, but
I mean, to be fair, they do have their own night. It's called the London Open Mic Scene. But I think the point is, I get that sort of. But
I'm
actually,
just trying to.
No. It's a really interesting point. But there's actually a working class theme night. It's actually called Class. And that's what it's called. So they do try and include, a lot of sort of working class. But I totally get your point. But yeah, I just think, I saw a gap in going back to the disability. I saw a gap on the scene. And I just thought it needed filled. I was so surprised about when I performed stand-up comedy that there wasn't the amount of venues that were inaccessible, the amount of venues that weren't disability friendly or weren't mental health friendly.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then, you know, I just thought, you know, why isn't there a night like
yeah,
this? And
yeah,
I went with it. And the venue we have in East London,
yeah,
it's a library as well, and it's a
yeah.
lovely community feel to it.
Fantastic.
I thought your first gig, what months was that? Because I remember starting it in October, but I'm not sure. Did you come down for the first one or was it the next one?
November,
It was the
was it
next one.
November? Yeah, the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when I walked in, because I don't know about you, Mark, but since I left Portland College, which is a disabled college, I haven't got many disabled friends up here. Physical disability. I've got others.
yeah.
I forgot where I'm going with this.
You were talking about when you first walked in, you know, at my
Yeah.
night.
So when I first walked in and I saw a load of my peers, I thought, they're not going to like me. I take the mick out of disabled people because I'm
I'm
with
just saying,
able-bodied people. I forget what they like to be called.
no, but like,
Um,
yeah.
but then I did my first joke, and I'm like, they bloody like this.
I
So,
think I think it goes into the fact that it is sort of self-deprecating, but people assume that if you've got cerebral palsy or autism or whatever your disability
yeah,
is, that you don't have a sense of humor. You're not going to make jokes about yourself. That
yeah,
it's awkward. Oh,
yeah,
are they going to address? I mean, with me, it's less obvious because it's not a physical. With you,
yeah.
it's physical. No, but I mean, like, in all honesty, the amount of people that have said to me after gig, "You don't seem autistic." Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Am I not acting?
yeah,
Am I not rocking back and forth? And am I not doing all the lining up
yeah,
matchsticks? Do you know what I mean? Am I not fitting within?
yeah,
But then when they see you get on stage, it's like, oh my god, is he going to mention his cerebral palsy? And that's
yeah,
what a lot of people. And you must have had that. You must have. Oh my god! And then when you make jokes about it, it's a release, and that's why people find it funny because you need to make jokes. You don't
yeah.
get by without making jokes about it. Like,
I do split the room at other gigs all
really?
the time. All the time. I tell you who really loves, I get the belly laughs. And I can't believe this. Young people. They
Well,
love it. They love it.
I
Now,
think
I would have thought young people wouldn't enjoy it more. I don't know. So,
is it maybe because they're a bit more, say, politically correct than say older?
yeah, yeah, but when we was brought up, it was, well, face it, in the 80s, disabled people just came out of under the stairs.
But
Didn't we?
yeah, they were all
Because,
like little Harry Potters, you know, coming
yeah,
under the stairs.
yeah,
But
we're
no,
all locked in silent homes.
yeah,
And that.
there is up the road from where I live. There
Mm,
is a mansion that used to be an asylum for disabled people that they used to stick there in the 80s. So
yeah,
there's one right near where I live. It's now obviously not that because that would be
right,
barbaric. But like, yeah, I totally get what you mean. But like,
yeah.
so like in terms of you said it's like split the room. Who gets offended by your jokes about cerebral palsy? I really want to know this. Like,
I would say the middle-aged person between 40 and 50 up. I mean,
That's
I
really...
got some woman coming up to me after I go, you shouldn't not take the mick out of yourself, and I'm like, you're at a gig, for God's sake.
I'm a fucking comedian. It's my job. I take the piss out of myself. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, right, I understand if, like, you were taking the piss out of other, say, disabilities. So if I got up and start making jokes about cerebral palsy, that would be wrong of me, I think, because I ain't got cerebral palsy. But and it's vice versa if you made jokes about autism. But, like, you're making jokes about yourself. And just because you got, she wouldn't have said that to an able-bodied comedian. She would not have said that to someone who was a bloke who making jokes about his weight or something, or a woman making jokes about her makeup or something. You know what I mean? She wouldn't have approached them, but she decides to approach you. And I actually think that's worse. I think that's actually... sorry to like butt in on that, but I actually think that's worse than... No, I actually think that's...
But just come off your soapbox and let's say hi to our #1 viewer. Hello.
Hello, #1 viewer. Who is it?
If you want to say hi, please say hi in the comments, or give us a thumbs up, or subscribe, or
I mean,
anything.
any gesture will do. You know, like this is fine, like this is fine. Anything, just give us a sign that you're alive. Yeah, we need to see someone being alive. And so why did this go out on Facebook too, or is it just was it a lot?
I feel like I don't want to flood my Facebook page, so we get the numbers every fortnight. Does that make sense?
If you do say too much, people will not less likely to view it.
He's on a game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel passionate about bringing disabled people into the limelight, but I feel that YouTube, if we as disabled people could boost the YouTube channel, that would be great, because if we get to, is it 1,000 subscribers or something, we get sponsorship.
Yay, by Greg's.
Yeah, and also I didn't want to flood it for what is on this Saturday, Mark.
Oh yes, so this Saturday I haven't quite shared a poster, but we are doing a podcast on we're using StreamYard.
On Benny Shake's Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Yeah,
it's going to be on all those platforms, and it's under the banner of One Place East and Law Fable, where and what we'll be doing, I'll be interviewing other comedians like Benny, and we'll be talking about mental health. So that's on Saturday. I believe it starts at 7 o'clock. I think I'm right in that. And what other guests we got on? We got Paisley Boyd on. We've got Helen Edwards. And who else have we got? I'm trying to remember.
We've got Ian.
Oh, Ian Fulbrook. How could I forget Ian Fulbrook? Check out Ian Fulbrook. He's going to lynch me for that. You know, like he's going to. But definitely check out Ian Fulbrook. Definitely check his stuff out.
What is it about?
So no, Well, so it's mental health awareness. So a bit like cerebral palsy awareness was what you and Kate did. We're going to be talking all things mental health. So how we all sort of cope with it and what we all do to try and could raise awareness for it, and like how we've all dealt with our own mental health, and and if anyone else wants to join in the conversation as well, like if anyone wants to share stuff about them or ask questions for us, about what it's like to have certain mental health conditions. Because I suffer from depression and anxiety, as well as the autism. So it's just like I'm a nice, well-rounded person. I think I've got it all.
I'm just there in the background, so yeah, I'm just taking it easy. So
No, but yeah, Benny's going to be on. Definitely check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I say you've talked about mental health. It can be fun, but it can be fun. This is another thing. You need to break down stigmas by also making jokes as well. So that's why we want to talk about mental health and comedy and how actually comedy can help mental health. How maybe it can't.
I mean, it's helped me a lot. I mean,
it's helped me massively.
Yeah, since we haven't been gigging, my mental health has took a tumble, and I think that's why we set up the support group. We set up Benny Shakes Things Up, and everything like that too.
Absolutely, and I think it's really important to. And lockdown has been difficult, hasn't it? Like, it's because not doing physical gigs, not getting out there. Like it really does play on your mental health. But funnily enough, I've just booked onto a few gigs today. Yeah, but I mean, they could be cancelled within a month. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, my diary's pretty busy in November.
So mine's looking more and more busy now. Actually, I want to admit.
I haven't asked for them gigs; they've asked me, so which is great. I feel like
and that gives you a boost, don't it? That gives you a boost.
It does. I mean, I'm doing. I forgot where I'm doing them, but hey ho. So, but I think your night helps me more because I can keep my hand in with the comedy. I mean, I've only done your online gigs. I don't think I've done any other online gigs, which, to be honest, I really need to get on.
I mean, I will admit I started doing a lot of online gigs, and then, but when the physical gigs started to appear, I started, slacking a bit with the online stuff. But I do think online's going to be the new. I was speaking to a promoter in London about this. It could be a new reality for a lot of us, and we have to try and get used to that. I mean, where my night is, the Law Fable. God knows when we're going to be coming back into the physical venue, because it's a library and because a lot of the audience members have disabilities themselves. It's a bit more of a risk, with COVID. So I'll be probably doing online for the foreseeable future until I'm told otherwise from my venue, because I'm not going to try and desperately find another venue that's not going to be safe. Because I don't, and I've also had comics who've said to me, "Please keep the online stuff going because I'm not ready to enter the physical world yet." And I get that. With COVID, especially for disabled people, is incredibly dangerous. So it's like
maybe at Christmas we might join
hopefully
and do a Benny Shakes gig on here if anyone wants to do a live gig we might get a few people on. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that'd be brilliant. I think the more different types of online nights we can do, the better, really. Because also you can make them quite interactive as well. I've done PowerPoints on my gigs, and
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, no, but it's weirdly enough, Ian Lane, who headlined one of the Law Fable gigs, his set was actually a PowerPoint, and we had to set up the projector in the room. He
Yeah.
must be doing really well with the online gigs at the moment. On
Hey,
PowerPoint.
has he been doing online gigs?
So no,
Because I don't think he has.
no, I've seen him do like Twitch where he does like, I don't know, music or game reviews and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
yeah, he's a very gaming person, isn't he?
really is, he really is. But
Again, he's autistic, so
yeah,
he
I mean,
is one of the superheroes of the Benny Shake superheroes. So yeah,
fantastic. There we go.
we
Brilliant.
got a name for the van. It's called the Spasticity Superheroes.
Spasticity superheroes.
I can't say it, but they have agreed that is what we're called. So
just to inform anyone who's watching what this van is, it sounds very
oh yeah,
dodgy. I've got a van.
Before we start, I normally ask my guests what their superhero is, because I know we've all got this disabilities, but in my eyes, we're superheroes. And also, can I tell you a secret?
What?
When my youngest niece was Phoebe was 7 years old, no, 5, she said, "What's wrong with your voice and your hands?" And before I could say anything, I went, "I've got superpowers." And she went around school saying, "My uncle's a superhero."
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic.
We've got Phoebe to thank for that. So
That's
yeah.
amazing. Thank you, Phoebe.
Yeah, we're all superheroes in my
So what, you want to know what my superpower is, or super?
Oh yeah, I haven't asked you yet. What is superpowers?
Well, I mean, I wish I had an answer for you. It's not being prepared, because obviously if I was, I'd be able to answer that question. It is, I'd say my superpowers are being, I don't know. I don't know. My superpowers are probably having no filter, being totally honest with everyone. So everyone knows.
That's true. Yeah. So
Everyone knows where you stand with me. So if I say it like it is, so you don't need to. I don't pretend in front of anyone.
If we had a baddie who was like Ice from the program Ice Flash, yeah. So you could find her weak spot, so we could penetrate her iceness. Maybe.
I'm really glad you finished with ice.
Oh, you being dirty, Bob.
You said penetrate. You said penetrate. Like you started this. I didn't.
I was being professional.
Professional. I don't think professional and Benny Shakes go in the same sentence.
Well, because it's Benny shakes things up, We're gonna go in a minute, but I haven't asked no one this question yet, and it's come up several times in the news and in documentaries I've seen, and it's about autistic, cerebral palsy, whatever. Do you think disabled people should have the right to have their own children like everyone else? Because you know the world, they're like, well, they shouldn't really because they
But
can't get. And then it's
yeah,
like,
no,
hello?
but like, so it's an interesting one. Like, so the school I work in is a special needs school, right? And a lot of the parents who bring in their children have special needs themselves, so they have disabilities themselves. So they're parents, and do you know what I mean? So it's like they can bring up their children, and they're bringing up very, very well. So I don't think it stops anyone
Yeah.
from having children. I think you might need to say more support,
Yeah.
like. But in general, disabled people need more support because society isn't set up for us. It's set up for able-bodied people, and it's set up.
Exactly.
But
Perfect, Mark.
but yeah, so no, and there's no problem with disabled people having children. It's just if society wants to support it, the problem is society doesn't. So really, we should put it back onto the people in charge. We should put it back onto society. Will you allow disabled people to bring up children in this world? That's what we should be asking. Will you make it accessible for disabled people to bring up children? So that is the question you need to be asking. Like, and it comes back into the social model of disability, which
I mean, if I could have kids, this is another story for later on down the road, but I can't have kids. But if I could have kids, I know I wouldn't have kids myself. But that's my choice.
that's your personal choice. But
my personal choice.
But like it's just like people have asked me, like, what if your child was autistic or had a disability? Because there's a documentary in Iceland, and I apologise for the way I'm going. Apparently, like people with Down syndrome, like they sort of make people have abortions if those people are pregnant with kids with Down syndrome, and but then that creates a question. If you knew that your child from literally the very second had a disability, would you bring that child into this world? I would personally, because I've been through it, so I know what they'd be going through. But for other people, it's a question that I get very shocked with answers about. People like, oh, I'd find that too hard. It's like, well, I don't know. Like, no, people have a choice, don't get me wrong, and everyone's choice to do what they want. However, if they do want to bring a child into this world or don't,
we're gonna leave you guys with that.
I mean, that's a very morbid discussion. But sorry about that. I'll bring down the
know more about that, please tune in for another Benny Shakes and Mark, but the Burkwood.
Yes, babe.
Yay!
Hey, right.
I'm sure we will have you on several times through the year, but this is a special one. So
for a very special
needs
person.
Yes. Before we go, if you would like to donate any money to our podcast, the money, we don't get paid, me and Mark. We get, and Kate, sorry Kate, I forgot you. Me and Kate don't get paid, or Mark. We pay our headliner comedians who come on because, face it, they've lost money. We haven't. So, yeah.
Definitely donate below.
Yeah, if you want to donate, please donate. And, yeah.
And, oh, yeah. Tune in to Law Fable this Friday. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Tune in to Law Fable. If you go on Facebook, it's Law Fable. And if you scroll down, there's a link there to book your tickets. Again, definitely. That's a free night.
It's a free night.
Mark, do you want to?
Yeah, it's free night, but there's an option to donate to the night because, like Benny, I believe in paying headliner comedians. We have the wonderful Andrew O'Neill who's headlining, and he's a professional comedian who's lost a lot of money over lockdown by not having gigs. And in order for us to, same with Benny's podcast, same with my night, in order to bring in the headliners for your entertainment, it'd be great if you could donate anything to that night as well. Donate to any sort of online stuff you see me and Benny doing, because that way we'll best acts.
Or if anyone wants to sponsor us up here, where the cerebral palsy sign is, you can have your logo. And you can have that spot all the time. If you want to sponsor us, give us a bit of pocket money so we can pay headliners, so we can get big names like Lost Voice Guy.
Oh, yes.
Rosie. What's Rosie's surname?
Rosie Jones.
Rosie Jones. And people like that, please subscribe, like, and give us donations. So thank you for watching the one person who left, which I know who that was. But yeah, I will tell you in a minute. So,
thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyway, good night from me.
Bye.
He shakes, and good night from him.
See you
Good night.
later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.